Okay, guys, welcome back. So, attempt two. We wanted to talk to you another Godspousing 101 thing. Is okay to argue with your spouse. And I know you guys are being really patient, sweet about this because it is a Lokean channel and we're focusing a lot on Odin. But Loki isn't the one, that decided he was vegetarian. Okay, oh yeah, props for Loki. Odin and I had a really bad fight today, and I mean extremely bad to the point where I leaned into him, metaphysically speaking, and I said, I'm going to eat your face. And usually, when your spouse says something like that, you start to worry about their mental stability, yes? And it's the fourth day of vegetarian. It was vegan up until the point where I ate a piece of the calendar, actually. And what started up this huge fight was I went to get the pasta strainer to make vegan shells for lunch. And I saw his cocoa, which he can't eat anymore. Well, drink anymore because it has, marshmallows in it. And marshmallows are made out of, ooh. And or whatever they're made out of. Maybe it's not moo, maybe it's oink oink or something, but they're made out of some animal bone somewhere. And I just started to get mad, and then I started to think about how Loki has his special hot cocoa with the unicorn shapes, and we haven't even opened that yet. And I started thinking about how we have Lucky Charms, what we call them, Loki Charms, in there for Loki. And we have all these big, beautiful marshmallows. And I was just getting angrier and angrier and angrier. And I haven't thought of these foods for days, but just seeing that triggered this thought pattern. And I got mad at him. I'm like boiling this water, and I'm thinking of sticking his head in the pot, to be perfectly honest. And like, maybe if I kill him, we can eat what we want. And I'm getting laughter and cheers from Loki. And we just had a big old fight. And he could sing death metal. When he yells, I was going, well, let me tell you something, my dear. You are the one who agreed to do this, and you should be making me feel bad. I feel, XYZ, and and we were saying it at levels that I think the profoundly deaf could have heard. It's a good thing we do all this stuff telepathically because the neighbors would be like, "A crazy lady's yelling at herself again." Yeah, yeah. And we had to get it out of our system. I had to tell him sometimes I feel resentful during the week. This is really the first week we're doing vegetarian during the week. That I can't just pop open a can of ham or something. I'm feeling resentful. I'm mad. I should have told him that. And we were watching this nice vegan lady. There are nice vegans, kind of, and but she was being nice as possible. And she was talking about living with a non-vegan. And I started watching it for his sake. And she's talking about, how a lot of couples solve things differently. Like some will both cook together, and the person that isn't vegan cooks the non-vegan option that they enjoy, and so forth and so on. Maybe they eat non-vegan out of the house, everything else. Obviously, with him being a god, this none of these options work. Either I have to like cook a vegetarian meal, offer it to him, and then throw meat in my portion, which I don't quite feel comfortable doing. And I told him that because I said, since this is an offering for God and not just something for a spouse, it feels kind of weird. Feels kind of weird. And I said, I don't feel like I'm failing you or letting you down if I get like bacon crazies or meat crazies during the week. And what we finally did is, after we stopped shouting at each other, we agreed that maybe 5 days in a row was too ambitious. And Thor's smart. Thor kept trying to get me to have some ham today, and I couldn't figure out why. And it was like he knew I was craving ham specifically because I keep seeing these shells and keep thinking those would be so good with one of those little hams. And he's like, have some, sis. You're doing the best you can. We had meat last weekend, Thursday. No, not Thursday and Friday. Saturday and Sunday we had the turkey with bacon. But then Monday was Meatless Monday, Tuna Tuesday, all vegetarian on Wednesday, all vegan today, except for that calendar. And he's like, I think this is a little too much. You're pushing yourself too fast. So Thor came in and, smoothed stuff out. But you have to be able to have those arguments. And, really, we should have been communicating better beforehand, but you never do. That's why couples argue. And I get back here. You should be communicating better beforehand, and the arguments won't pop up. But sometimes they won't, because you can't, snipe at your spouse every single time something irks you, or you would be yelling at each other 24/7. I go, and you would. I usually am happy to support him, but yeah, I felt a little resentful. I couldn't have my meat because I said, I'm going to stay omnivore. And the woman even said in the video, you have to realize, and this was a vegan saying it, that some people are omnivore for life. There's no changing them, and there's probably not going to be any changing me. And I said, are you so committed to this vegetarian that you want a divorce now? Like, what are you thinking? Oh. But that was Odin for I need to think about it. So I'm like, oh, maybe my husband's going to divorce me because I have to eat some ham. But ham, and the omnivores out there are like, preach it, sister, and bacon too. Come back to the dark side. You're single. You're young yet. You got your best years ahead of you. Um, it's okay to have those arguments. And maybe your argument's not about the diet. Maybe your argument's about, religion or spirituality or I don't know, anything at all. People argue about everything. You argue about the same things with a divine spouse you do with any other spouse, about how you vote, about how you do this, about how you do that, about what to watch on TV, about all this other crazy stuff. But you have to be able to have those arguments, even have really bad, spectacular arguments, get them out of your system. Both calm down and then both reason through it. I felt like we were going to a marriage counselor. I'm looking up like these things, and I found that vegan thing. And, I don't think we want time apart, but Odin is going to take some time off in Odin land, wherever that is precisely. And, he's going to think about things because I think maybe he was idealistic and thought, well, she loves animals. She's animal lover. I'll just keep pushing a little more veg and a little more veg. I'd love to do it, but like I said, my health comes first, and my body's needs come first. And so sometimes you might. What do you do if you hit that and you can't agree to disagree? Well, then that's between you and your spouse. I can't give you like one blanket answer for that, but we've agreed he gets to go off to Odinland and think about it. And, I had spent time in VR. I transformed the hunting lodge into the animal sanctuary. I'm speaking the good English today. And the Thor's farm, I just had to slap rescue in front of that. Now it's a rescue farm. So I've been doing an awful lot of concessions. And I said, I feel like I've been doing all the concessions and you've done absolutely zero. I said at first, I was like, it's so nice he's letting me eat meat on the weekends. He's such a good husband. There are so many of these husbands are a nightmare. He's just let me eat meat on the weekends. Who asked him? Maybe I want to eat meat during the weekend. You have to have those discussions. You really do. And sometimes they're going to be full-blown arguments. So, if you guys like what you see, God, I like the part where you said you're young yet you got your best years ahead of you. You're already picking out the next ones. You guys like what you see. Loki's trained for divorce. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you later. Bye.